All right, folks, good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a really good day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Doing very good, very good. Let's get this switched over
Good.
here. Excellent. Yeah, doing very good. And hope all you guys
All
took
right, folks. Good
advantage
morning. Welcome
of
to the pre-market
yesterday.
show. Hope.
Just the way the SPY was selling off created a lot of moves. So hope you took advantage of that. I see a lot of good trades after the fact. I don't trade in the afternoon or past the mid morning too much, but looking at some of the moves that were made, I mean, it was a lot of stuff that moved nicely. So hopefully you took advantage of that and was able to catch some good moves. Let's look at some of the stuff for yesterday. Yesterday, our list was we didn't have a good pre-market action on a lot of the stocks we were watching, and we noticed that right from the start there was a lot on there. But if we looked at the details, just a lot of choppiness, kind of a lot of stocks waiting to see what the SPY is going to do. The market was down about 1.4, I believe it was, or so. And again, it was just a lot of indecision on what was happening. So. Let's take a look at AIG. AIG, we had on our list from yesterday. And you can see here, look at this pure chop. It gave you a lot of fake outs, like it wanted to hold this moving average and eventually take off, but it never did. Again, if you see the one, it's just chopping around, just hugging the moving average, never gave you anything. Then finally started selling off and doing something here. But again, just very choppy, very hard to trade. And it was like that all day, even with the market sell-off. It gave you a nice drop here, but overall, it was just extreme chop. Never really gave you a good move the entire day. XENT had a nice big drop right at the open. Did this looked like it was going to take off, was acting really strong. And then right at the open gives this beautiful drop. And then you got to pull back here on the 2 minute mark. You could have taken a 2 minute opening range breakdown on this one. Again, that's a strategy that we're trying to teach and perfect yet. Something that we're working on. But if you waited for a 5, it was very difficult to trade. Andrew was in this trade. He caught a very good entry very early on, right from VWAP, so he was able to get a good move on it and get some cushion. But if you waited for the 5 or the 10, you were really going to get stuck in a bad situation because the price action was just really, really bad on this one as we were watching it. So that was XENT yesterday. Then it found the bottom, started bouncing back towards VWAP. But even looking at it now after the fact, you can tell how bad the price action was. And that is what it looked like as well when we were watching it live. Let's go over to AMD here. So AMD was another one I had, also very choppy. Again, just this one actually had one of the cleanest pre-market action out of the entire stock we were watching. And you can see here again, just pure chop, sells up, sells down. Really doesn't leave the VWAP, and the candles that it's creating, even on the 1 minute, it's just really not tradable. So again, hopefully you avoided this chop. It's very difficult to find stocks to be able to tell, okay, this is going to be choppy or not. You don't know, because when you're in a stock, you see this sell up, you see this sell down, then you see this beautiful drop here, and you get this pullback. You're thinking, okay, this could be good for a short here, get down to this level. We had a 26.96 level. Next thing you know, the minute you're in, you're squeezed up to VWAP again. Then it closes above VWAP. You're thinking, okay, you got some nice candles here. Maybe it could be a long. So you get long in here, and then you do get a push, but then sells back down. After you get stopped out twice, this is when you really want to say, okay, I'm going to stop trading this and wait for the setup to see what's happening, because you don't know when you're in chop. We get that question a lot. How do you know a stock is going to be choppy? You don't know. You're sometimes going to get your signals, and once you're in, that's when you realize this thing is not, it's not doing what I expect it to do, and then you just pull the trigger and jump out of it. AKRX, also good drop here, but again, the price action was very hard to trade. It gave you a nice pullback here to the VWAP. You could take it in for short in this area if you had shares for short. I don't have shares for short today, but we did have yesterday. And then right there gives you a nice drop all the way down to the low of the day again. So this turned out to be a good opening range breakdown on the 5. Then throughout the morning, gives you a few pullbacks. Another one here, 2 VWAP, and another one here. So it gave you a few opportunities if you're watching this closely. I unfortunately was not watching this one, so I didn't catch those opportunities. MU also better than AMD. AMD was extreme chop. MU was a little more cleaner, right? You had a nice pop here. Once it goes below VWAP, you get another test, but then it really sells off, cracks the low of the day, and it continues to sell down. So a lot cleaner than AMD was if you was able to get this trade. But the trade of the day was MYL. This was one trade that, again, this was beautiful. Someone called. I did not have this on my watch list. Actually, no, I did. Norm, you brought it up yesterday on the pre-market show.
Yep.
So I didn't have it on my list, but then after Norm brought it up, I added it. And we had a good opening range breakdown here on the 5. This is a textbook breakdown here, guys. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit here. You can see it sells down, comes back up to VWAP, cannot hold the VWAP, and on the way down, this is literally the 935 candle. This is when you want your entry, somewhere within here and here, for the break of the low at that point, and obviously to head lower. So this was the trade of the day, and it traded like this very nice for the entire morning. Look, another pullback here later on in the morning around 10 o'clock. Nice pullback there. Then it continues to sell down until it finally finds a bottom, and it pulls back to VWAP. So MYL was definitely the trade of the day. Hopefully you guys took that trade and took advantage of that move. Roku was very active. I did not have this on my watch list. Somebody in the chat room called it out. Again, just not a good clean pre-market action. But look at this beautiful pop. Cannot hold these levels. Sells below 68. Sells below VWAP, and from there it just continues to drop nicely until it finds a bottom here around 64.50. So this was a beautiful trade here. It hit the scanners as well. Roku turned out to be really nice. All we were watching, again, price action was almost all over the place here on O. But it did end up selling down, right? Had this nice beautiful pop here, 2 VWAP. Then from there it sold down, but you needed a good entry because I was watching this stock closely. The price action was pretty wicked. It was, it was kind of bouncing back and forth quite a bit. So it was not clean to be able to, unless you had a good entry. It was not easy to hold for a pullback on this, just because the way it was reacting. So that's what we had yesterday, guys. Again, not the greatest list, but we did get some movers like MYL. Throughout later on in the day, we did get some drops as the market was dropping. We did get some trend trades that turned out to be really nice if you was able to get a pullback and get a good entry. Let's see what we have today. Let's actually look at what the SPY is doing this morning. Let's take a look here. All right, so again, looks like we're again, after the down day yesterday, had a huge sell-off. We're bouncing back a bit, but from the previous day close, we're down. We're down 0.34, sorry. And as you can see, we bounced back a bit yesterday here. So we're trying to see if we can continue this bounce, or are we going to sell off some more again? We got a moving average coming in here. Again, this is after hitting the all-time high. Some news coming out on the China trades and things like that. So the markets are definitely having some reaction here, which is good for us. This creates a lot of volatility and movement for us. So hopefully today we can get some clean moves out of this. Let's look at what we have for stocks in place. So we'll look at our gappers list over here. Then we'll go over to Nasdaq active and Nasdaq gainers and see what we have going on in those areas. So BLIN, I'm gonna put this all the way down here because I know it is a low flow stock. I mean, it's a very dangerous stock. It's only 150,000 share float. So again, you got to be really careful with this one. I took this off my list yesterday, although I did have some levels on it. I removed it because I just don't want to deal with any stock that has that low of a float. So let's see how he traded, just for our purposes here, for learning purposes. So he had a good pop here at the pre-market. It did get one nice shot, right? It went all the way from 9 almost all the way to 10.15 or so here. So had a nice little pop here, but then it just loses it all after that, goes right below VWAP, and it really never recovers after that moment. So this was dangerous with these type of stocks that, you could get in here for opening range breakup or whatever the case may be, or maybe you got in here and you got caught on this drop, and then you think, okay, maybe at VWAP it could probably bounce back, and it doesn't. Then out of nowhere you get this huge drop right from VWAP, another 40 cents or so, 50 cents. So again, just be very careful with these stocks, guys, if you're trading them. Again, we recommend anyone starting out stay away from low float, especially something that's 150,000 shares flow. They just trade differently, and you can get caught in this type of mess. So hopefully people avoided that and did not get caught in that. So today it is up 13.9, 421,000 shares traded. Not a clean pre-market action. Looks pretty choppy all over the place here. Let's see what the daily chart looks like. Again, we had a big red day yesterday. Sold off, now it's selling back up. So again, just don't trust it. Look at this daily chart. Doesn't look clean. Looks like every time it opens up, it pops up a bit and then it sells right back down. So just be careful with these with this type of stock. Next we have Zayo, Z-A-Y-O. All right, we are up 9.1, 11. This looks like a buyout. Is this a buyout?
Yeah, it's a buyout. They're going private.
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, so again, that's where you have 11 million shares traded right now, but the price action is pretty much flat right here. So it's a buyout. They're going private. Really not tradable, guys. So we'll skip this one. Next, we have Lyft. Let's see what Lyft's been up to. I know they had a rough start to their IPO. Still not looking great. Looks like they might be testing that 55 level again. So Lyft is putting in a nice daily chart, though. I do like this daily chart. You have a nice little drop here, right? Well, not nice for them, but nice for us. And then here now we have somewhat of a level that's being created around 55, right? Every time it hits 55, it's being bought back up. Daily chart looks, I'm a little short bias on the daily chart because it looks like it might want to test that 55 again, but it can also bounce from there. So, but again, the daily chart looks nice, starting to build a nice little pattern. It's got all the moving averages above it and a very clean level here, whatever that is, 55 or so, possible target. Let's look at the pre-market action. Pre-market action right now, only 196,000 shares traded. I know it's over 100K, but that's not creating a good pre-market action here right at the moment. So, but we do like the daily chart. Let's keep it on here. We'll find some levels for this and see what it wants to do. Next, we have X. X on our list down 4.3, 460,000 shares traded so far. Pre-market actions, so-so. It's pretty flat, pretty choppy. A lot of the volume is sitting just on a few candles, this one here and this one here. So again, not really much going on the pre-market action wise. Daily chart though, daily chart is a little bit interesting. You got this nice pop here, couldn't hold 17, right? Couldn't crack that. Now it's selling down here a bit. And we got some possible levels in here. I know X doesn't trade as clean as other stocks. Usually pretty choppy on its normal trading environment or range or whatever you want to phrase it, but it could be doing something today. Again, it got this nice little pop here, couldn't hold 17. Now it's down 4.3. We got a clean level right in here, another one in here, and another one here. So it could be interesting. Hopefully it can get the volume and it can start building a good pre-market action. So we'll get into that and find some levels on it. INGN, what we have here, wow, down 30%. 168,000 shares traded. Definitely let's check what's going on with ING today. Let's bring over our Benzinga over here, INGN. What do we have here? So looks like yesterday had some news out, some earnings, revenue guidance. All right, so they missed everything here. It looks like they missed earnings, missed sales. All right, that's not good. And then JP Morgan downgraded some this morning as well. So they're definitely going south here on this news. Daily chart looks choppy though. It looks like it is a choppier stock on its regular trading days, but today is definitely in play. That's a big drop on a stock like this, going from 90 to 63. That's huge. So
You also got to really watch out on ING, and it has a 35% short float.
it does. Wow. Yeah, so we gotta be very careful with this one. But this is a very big drop. It looks like it has several gaps down before. So when it does gap down, what I'm looking at, and history tells us that it does sell off a bit when it gaps down. Right here, it did it, sold off, bounced, sold off, and then somewhat of a bounce here. Not saying that's going to happen today, but it has the potential to do, to do some movement when it has this type of moves here. So, yep. So 35.
Carlos?
35, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so John Smith's asking, what does that mean? And so what that means is, of the outstanding float of 21.8 million shares, that 35% of that is held short. Now, it's reported to Nasdaq every 2 weeks or twice a month, excuse me. And then it's released about, I think it's 11 days after it's reported. So it might be a little bit old. They obviously had bad results. There were a lot of people predicting that they were going to drop. So you might get some kind of, you might end up getting some kind of a short covering rally in it. That doesn't mean it'll happen. I've seen short floats like that just keep going down and down and down, but it can make it difficult to trade and a little bit risky.
Yeah, correct. So this is why you have to kind of wait for that setup. And this is why Brian always looks at these type of strategies where he wants to wait because he knows he's going to get a pop. Right, because if you're short here, if you're short and you're sitting from, 90, and you're at 63, guess what? I'm covering half or even more at this point. That's a big drop. That's 30%. So what that's going to do is going to push the price up a bit, right? So you can get that, and then it can go short. Again, just something to be aware about. Doesn't mean that is going to happen. It can quite be the opposite, like you said. Norm, it can continue to drop, right? Anything is possible in the market. That's why you gotta you got to be cautious of and not have a bias. Another question: shouldn't it be halted? No, because I think the halts are based on volume and also how fast it drops percentage wise, right? So this is not. I don't think this is going to be halted in that case like it would on a low flow when you get a huge drop on something like that. So. Now, when it opens, if it starts dropping drastically, then it could create a halt. Then it could do that. All right, guys. So this is good. I like it. Again, we got to be very cautious. How's the spread right now? 40 cents or so. So it's pretty high. But again, it's early on in the morning. So, all right, we'll watch this. What else we got going on here? All right, so that's it for our gappers on trade ideas. Let's look over our Nasdaq active and see what we have. We have Dare here. Dare we have looked at in the past. They are a low flow, only 9.27 million shares float. Again, just trying to get over $1 today here. Every time I watch this one, I never trade it. It's just too risky of a low flow. And then you can see it's more of a penny stock. It really trades under $1. It's popping up today and it's starting to sell off already. So we'll put it down here. We'll look at the action. We'll see if we can get some levels for it. It looks like we have some levels already on here, but again, not one stock that I'm looking to trade. TVIX should be going off like crazy, especially yesterday. So what TVIX is, guys, is the volatility index. As the SPY drops, this goes up, or the market, and you can see here it's popping up. It popped up nicely yesterday, obviously because the markets were selling off, and now the SPY is not selling off as much, but this here looks like it wants to take off. So we'll be active today, but be careful with this one. This is not a regular ticker where you can trade, your ABCD patterns or things like that. This trades basically opposite of what the market is doing, so be aware of it. Also, I believe it's leveraged. I don't know how much, but I'm not sure the exact number. But this can really move against you, so be very careful if you trade this. All right, QQQ and SQQ are Nasdaq ETFs. AMD. Let's look at what AMD is up to. This is kind of what we saw on MU on yesterday. Andrew was going over this yesterday again. You have this chop. Daily chart looks horrible, but it does look like it wants to break out of this range, right? MU has the same type of style. Looks like it wants to break out of this range. Kind of trying to hit this moving average now. So AMD is interesting. I'm going to put it on here. I do like the levels that is in. Yes, nasty daily chart, but I like the fact that it's trying to break out from this trading range. Also, you have a moving average here. If it can break that, we can get some levels of this area here. Next, we have BLIN. We looked at already. YTNE. Yeah, this is another one that's probably not tradable. Trades under $1. What do we have as to float? 12 million shares float, but again, this is really not tradable, guys. I wouldn't recommend you watching this. It seems to be all over the place. Has some volume, 315,000 shares, and again, it's just trading under $1. So I would treat it more as a penny stock and just kind of stay away from it. Next, we have TQQQ, also a Nasdaq ETF. Then we have Eric here. See what Eric always pops up here. Got some volume, 250,000 shares traded, but not really doing much. Horrible daily chart. As you can see here, it must be a foreign stock. What is this stock, by the way? What is this company? This is
Ericsson, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. So again, guys, it's just very choppy. Look at the pre-market action right now. It just seems very algo-like. And again, just the daily chart looks very, very, very bad, actually. And pre-market action's really not doing anything exciting. So we'll skip that one. Next, so let's go over to Nasdaq gains. BURG, no volume, not a good pre-market action. SPY is bouncing back a bit here. Level 2 is going nuts. Got another screen, trying to bounce back a bit.
It is.
YTEN.
Going insane.
Yeah, it is, right? The volume just going insane. It caught my attention because I see it flickering here on the level 2. Next, we have YTEN. We looked at already. Again, just guys, this is not time to play around with. It's up 21%. That looks exciting. 321,000 shares traded, but it trades under $1. And my prediction on this is that it's going to sell right back down to where it came from. It already was up at 175. Last time it went up here, look at this, it sold off, never came back up. So again, just be aware of this. It's probably going to just go back and trade into its normal trading range. Might give you a pull, showing that it's going to take off and then fake you out. So just be very careful with this. All right, so on here we have CHFS, no volume. MTSI, What's the deal with MTSI? Nope, nothing going on. EA here. EA is good. It's capping up 7.3 when the markets are a little crazy right now. So that's a good. They got some news or something. They have to have something to be gapping up like this.
On what?
On EA.
EA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had earnings, and they've got that Apex Legends out, which I think they had good earnings because of it and caused it to fall.
Yeah. Apex Legends been crazy though. My nephews were going nuts because I think it was down for 2 days over the weekend. So you could tell how that goes. Everybody down on this game. So they had a system down, so I thought that would affect them. But again, the game is really, really good. People are enjoying it. Doesn't have the volume right now. Only 85,000 shares traded, but it is up nicely. I like the daily chart. Let's remove these levels on here. I'm going to put it on here. Let's hope that it can get the volume. But this daily chart looks really, really good. All right, next we have MTCH. MTCH doesn't have the volume. Only 20,000 shares traded. Looks like it's been on a nice uptrend here. Popping up a bit here, up 5.6. Could be a player later on in the day, but right now the volume is just not there. But the daily charts, it is interesting. All right, guys, so that is all we have. One more, QRVO. No volume on this one neither. Not a good pre-market action. Let's see what you guys have on your end. NVATA. Anything you have, Norm, also?
I had EA, but you already pulled it up.
Yep. EA does look interesting. We have this one, MVTA. This is interesting too, down 21%. Volume is not quite there yet, but it looks like it is going to hit our scanners in a few seconds here once it gets the volume or minutes. Yeah, this is interesting. Why is it down so much? 21%. Let's check Benzinga NVTA. What do we have? Earnings. All right, I like this one. Yeah, I like this one. We do have shares for sure. It is a nicey stock, so we got to be careful with the price action. It just seems nicey stocks are a little bit harder to read. So yeah, this looks good. It's price sitting at a level right now in this area here. You can see clearly how the price is just not trying to sell off more than here. Pre-market action is building up. Doesn't look great yet. Needs more volume. But this drop of 20%, it is very nice. So I like that. I like that for sure. MVTA. What's the float on this bad boy? Let's check. NVTA. We got no float on this.
Yeah, something's happened because I'm not getting float on a lot of stuff. Okay, I think it's back up now.
Oh, it looks like it's kind of stutter a little bit here. All right.
Yeah, so there was some kind of a problem with it. 50 million?
50 million, yeah. So not too bad, not too bad. We can definitely watch this. I do like the price action on the daily. Well, not the price action, but I do like the daily chart. Price action is starting to build up here. We have a clean level, 1894, right on here. So, yep, I like that one. What else you guys have? Let's look at BYND. BYND. All right, so BYND, what am I seeing here? So, recent IPO just opened up a couple of days ago. So, yeah, these are a little tougher to trade because I like to see levels. We do have a level from yesterday high, and we have the previous day close, and we have another one here. And volume is good. Pre-market action looks good. You know what? We'll watch it. We'll watch it. But if I find something better with more history, I might change it because I really like this, like a Lyft or what's the other one that opened up that we also were watching? I forgot the ticker. But, you know, those stocks can have volume, trade well, but you really don't have a lot of history on it. So got to be a little careful. But this looks good, though. Pre-market action looks good. Volume looks good. Up 4.8. And we can go test the high of yesterday again. And we also have some level towards the bottom. So, yeah, let's watch this. All right, what else we have? AMD, if I'm going short or long, I'm not going neither way right now. I'm going flat. We're gonna wait for the open to see what kind of pre-market action we get. Does it look short bias? Yes, I do look short bias on it because of the daily chart, but we got to see what the price action gives. It can bounce from there really nice as well. Next we have what else we have here? Nvidia. All right, Nvidia also has a beautiful daily chart. This is nice. No, I'm sure you've been watching this one over the last couple of days.
I have. I tried to trade it yesterday. I got stopped out once.
Yeah. This looks good here. Again, guys, the market has been really strong over the last couple of days. So now this one is also like many similar stocks sitting right at this level, 170. Again, it's just going to depend on what the SPY does, what the markets do. If they sell off, this can sell off nicely, or if not, you can get a bounce here, right? So but yeah, this has a nice daily chart. Pre-market action is so a little higher price, so I'm not going to add it on here. I do have other stocks that are similar to what Nvidia is doing right now. MVTA we added on earnings, so that looks good. WEN, no pre-market action right now. Daily chart, it looks like he's trying to break out here, but again, just doesn't have the volume or good pre-market action. Let's look at Trip. Trip, same thing, guys. Nope, not a good volume right now. It is down 6.3. This is good. This is nice. Down 6.3. But at the moment, the volume doesn't look great. Daily chart is so, but I do like the fact that it's dropping here to 51. You got some clean levels in here you can find support on, so that's nice on the daily chart. But the activity is not there for us to watch. We have a lot of good ones today that we can keep an eye on, that have some good volume and some decent pre-market action opposed to yesterday, right? So MTSI, not a great pre-market action, no volume. BUGR, we looked at BURG, sorry, BURG. Again, this pre-market action looks horrible to me. It really does, guys. I mean, you have some volume, 334,000 shares traded. It is a stock that's going from 150 to 245, so it is up 59%. That's very interesting and exciting. But look at this action on the one. Look at 50 million shares being traded between 6 cents, whatever, 10 cents here or so. So again, that's just dangerous to me. I don't want to play it in this field. Definitely out of my league. So not going to watch that one. Let's look at what else we have. GWPH. We looked at this one yesterday. How did it trade yesterday, by the way? Oh, I had a nice, beautiful drop yesterday. Opening range breakdown there on the 5. What is it doing today? Oh, so it basically gave everything back yesterday. Look at that. Had a nice gap up here and just gave it all back. No volume today. Daily chart looks interesting. It can go either way, but I think the volume right now is pretty dead on GWPH. But we can BTC. We can watch this in our scanners, right? Keep it in the scanners. Keep an eye on it. See what it does. If it does anything that can be exciting. All right, gonna scroll down here. What else do we have? ODP. We'll do a few more, then we'll get into getting some levels here. ODP doesn't have the volume right now. Pre-market action looks pretty flat, so I'm gonna avoid this one. Next we have DDD. Yeah, DDD, the pre-market action on DDD is all over the place. It's down 15%. This is nice. I like the fact that it's down this much. What's the float on this one? DDD. All right, 112. 3D Systems Corp. Yeah, you know what? This could be interesting. It's a larger flow stock. This could be interesting. The pre-market action, though, it's not great. This is not a good pre-market action. But let's see if it continues to develop. I do like the fact that it's down 15%. I like how the daily chart looks right now. It's been just in this range, and now they're dropping. Just want to check what their news is. Well, maybe we have something else that we can go on here. All right, so earnings, they missed earnings, missed sales, so all bad. That was yesterday. Yeah, let's watch it today. Let's see how it goes. But it's got to get better volume. It's got to build a better pre-market action, or else we'll have to drop it. But we'll do our levels in case it hits our scanners. We'll be ready to go on it. All right. MU and AMD, are they trading with the market? Good question. I believe they are. Look at MU. Look at the SPY. It's bouncing back. AMD, same thing. I mean, the AMD and MU look very similar. So they are trading with the SPY right now. The good thing about AMD and MU, again, we said it before, it says that you can catch some really good moves when they're trading with the market. If the market's trading in one direction, you can get a good movement, a good entry and exits, and good risk to reward on AMD and MU. But they're not really in play on their own right now. They're trading with the market. All right, CHK. What do we have? Tons of volume here, guys. Again, 4.4 million shares traded, but not tradable. Look at this pre-market action. So just very algorithm like trading here. Look at this. Look at this candle. Look at these two candles. 603,000 shares traded. Right. This is not what you want to be trading today. This is not tradable. Pre-market action looks all over the place. JD is a good one. I like JD. We traded before in the past. right now has volume, 162,000 shares traded, sold off nicely yesterday, but again, just the pre-market action is all over the place. So we'll pass on JD. Let's wait for it to hit our scanners. RS, what else we have? AX, GT. No, nothing going on. AXGT, MYL second day. All right, so MYL, again, nothing going on right now, but look at this drop yesterday. I mean, this is insane. This was definitely, as we mentioned earlier, one of the best stocks to trade yesterday. If you got in short on opening range break on the 5 and the 10, you could have, it never tests your entry again. You could have rolled this out nicely. Maybe not all the way down here, but again, it's just insane. Could be in play today, could put in a bounce, but again, I think a lot of technical damage has been done to this here, so it can go either way. Right now, not much activity, but I will definitely, I'm gonna throw it on because I want to check later on today. I don't want to forget to see how this trades today. I want to see what it does, but not one that I'm gonna watch. All right, guys, so we have plenty. Let's go over, let's find some levels. Let's get in here. Norm, anything that you like besides what we have already? I know you like EA. If not, we'll start getting some levels.
I mean, I'm going to have my eye on NVIDIA and Apple today, because if this tweet that the president sent out, if I'm sure they'll be talking about it, and if anything, it was about China news and the trade deals, so if something changes there, it could spike us one way or the other. So I'll keep an eye on those. Those semi stocks are really, really open to that.
Yeah.
That's why they sold off so hard yesterday.
Agreed. So I'm watching some of the semis as well. I think that's going to be interesting to see. All right, folks, let's get into some levels here. So let's look at Lyft. So Lyft is, again, recent IPO, and I say recent, over a month or two, but again, compared to your other stock, this, fairly recent. So we have a level down here at 54.58. Low of the pre-market right now is sitting at 56.67. And again, it's near this area where it's been bouncing quite often from. So again, it could be good for finding support there. Towards the top, you have the previous day low, previous day close, highs and lows right here. So you don't need to add any more towards the top. I think you have plenty of levels. Just add these two right here, 55, 56, which is the low of the pre-market. I'm sorry, 56.70, and then 54.58 is the low of this day down here. So I'm going to add that as well. Okay, so right now it's got some good volume. Pre-market action not as clean, but I do like the fact that it's again, it could be getting down to these levels over here. Let's look at X. So X right now, 617,000 shares traded, still pretty flat compared to where we left it off this morning. So the pre-market action is not looking great. The only thing I like on X is that is at a point where it can drop nicely to these levels down here. So let's put a level at 1420. Another level down here at 1495, 94, almost very close to 15 in this area. And then the low of the pre-market is sitting at what's this, 1547. So let's mark that down. Zoom out. Why is it not? Where's the low? On the one. Oh, okay, here we go. No wonder. All right, so here's the low. So let's mark the low of the pre-market right in here. That can also be an area where it can bounce, and we can see several days using that as support on there. So I do like that. And towards the top, high of the pre-market, basically where the low of the day was yesterday. Previous day close, previous day low from 2 days ago, and then previous day's highs up here. So daily chart looks interesting. Pre-market not so much. So we'll come back. Oh, did I just do that? Yes, I did. I just deleted all the levels in error. All right, let me just add them real quick again. So low of the pre-market, 1547. We have area of around 1492, 95. Another one down here at 1419. Yep, that's good enough right there. All right, so INGN, this is one, again, got to be very careful with. It's down 30%, 238,000 shares traded so far. Pre-market action is so-so. Again, it's just dropping here. But it has, is this all-time low? Also, let's go back really quick. I did not check that. No, it's not. So we have some levels in this area here. These guys have some bad earnings and bad news, so this is good for us, creating some movement. 60 as a possible level. Then we have another level right in here. Got several days at 67, 63, testing that. Let's go towards the top. What do we have? Wow, look how that 67, 63 is exactly the high of the pre-market. Very close to it, right? So that's nice. Low of the pre-market, I'm going to mark that down because again, it's trying to put in a, well, maybe not, maybe it's going to lose it, but it looks like it's trying to put in a bounce here at 62.77. Let's see if it can hold that, if it's going to crack. So it's been testing it once here, trying to do some movement on it now. Let's see what it can do here. So I do like this one's down quite a bit. Daily chart looks very interesting. We haven't dropped here in a while. And then above the 66, 63, again, you do have this one here. I don't think it will bounce back that aggressively on this here. Looks like it wants to crack. Yep, it's going to crack the low now. It looks like. Let's see what it does at 62. That could be the next possible level of support. AMD, we have some pretty good levels towards the top already. I'm going to mark down the high of the pre-market at 26.91. You have a low of the pre-market being marked here by also the low of yesterday. So right on this dot, you also got a moving average coming in as well. AMD is probably going to be moving with the market. But again, if the markets can pick one direction, AMD and MU could be really good to trade. I also have 25.85, 25.26, and I'm going to mark down this one down here at 24.72. Next, we have EA. So EA's got some positive news. They're up 7.8. Doesn't have a lot of volume and movement right now, but I do like the fact that they're up so much, 7.8, when a lot of the other stocks are just kind of either down or flat. So this is good for us. 132 high of the pre-market, low of the pre-market sitting at 98.25. Towards the top, if we can get a moving here, we can head towards 102.42. And then we also have a moving average here coming into 101.25. I'm not going to mark it down, but this is also a good area for possible profit taking as well if it decides to go in that area. If we lose the 98.74, we're very close to this moving average here, so if we can watch out for that. But another moving level off the daily could be this one right in here at around 97.30. And the reason is you got a nice little spike here. You got these 2 days testing it, and also these days are kind of getting close to it. The moving average is here, so maybe that held it from getting lower. But you got this one and this day also testing that 97.29. So I like EA. I know the pre-market action doesn't look great, but I do like the daily chart. I do like that they're up 7.8 and that they're up when a lot of other stocks are down. So we'll keep an eye on it. NVTA. Again, this one doesn't have a lot of volume, but let's do some levels in case it pops up into our turbo breakdown, turbo breakup. We have 20. That's the high of the pre-market, low of the pre-market. We're sitting at 1867. Look how these levels are also interacting with this stuff in here, so that's good. If we lose this 1897 or 67 to be exact, we do have another level down here at 1771. And towards the top, you have these 2 spikes, 2141. Again, that's a reach, but clear support levels in there and right in here. All right, let's see if we can get a better action out of this. We need more volume on NVTA, but the daily chart looks good. It's gapping down quite a bit, so that's exciting. BYND, recent IPO. Again, I'm probably not going to watch this one, guys. Again, it is active. It's got some good volume, up 3.3. You have some clean levels here and basically here in the previous day close. But again, it's recent IPO. I'm going to watch other stuff today that has a little more history. So I'm going to skip on this one. DDD, I like this drop, but the pre-market action is just not there. We'll do levels, but I'm going to remove this one right now and just wait for it to hit our scanners. 918, high of the pre-market, low of the pre-market, sitting at 877. See what we have in here. Let's go back. Oh, this is a level worth marking as well, right in here. This level is worth because you have basically a huge change in direction, drop, finds support, and then takes off. So I want to mark that down, 930, 939, 940. So we'll mark that there. That's worth keeping an eye out on. And then what do we have? Is this all-time low? Do we have anything lower? Yes, we do. Here it is. All right, so below this 877, which is the low of the pre-market, we do have a clean level right here at 809, getting close to that $8 mark. So, all right, I am starting to get some volume. I'm starting to get alive here. I like that. See, it's pretty flat here in this area. It's creating all this chop, but from here on, yeah, it's starting to get interesting. Let's give it a shot. Let's leave it on here for now. All right, there, guys. We spoke about this earlier. I'm not going to watch this one. Again, it looks like it's a riskier stock. Every time it gaps up, it might sell up, but then it sells back down. It just got up over $1, and it's giving it all back, really. It went to 135, 133, and it's giving it all back. So I'm not going to bother with this one. Just going to take this one off. It's got some really good volume, but just not something I want to watch. BLIN is a stock that, again, you got to be very, very careful with. I got plenty of stocks here that look very nice, that trade nicer. So I'm not going to mess around with BLIN today. Again, lower flow stock. And look what it did yesterday. Let's just go back for those that missed it earlier in the pre-market show. Again, look how this does this nice, beautiful pop. Then just minutes, it just drops. You think it might hold that VWAP and do at least some consolidation. Nope, just blows right through it, straight down. And then every time it consolidates, this is where a lot of traders get caught, right? It consolidates and gives you hope that it's going to bounce back. And people get the idea of either averaging down or adding to their position. And then boom, there it is, another drop, right? Does it again, then boom, another drop. And it just brings you down, tearing your account apart. You know, this is what low flow stocks do, so be very careful. This doesn't really happen with a lot of the mid to large flow stocks. This is why, you know, we tell people avoid this if you can, and trade other stocks. So I'm going to remove that one. MYL I have on here because it has such a nice drop yesterday. I mean, look at this daily chart. This is insane. So nothing going on it now. Pre-market action is pretty dead, no volume. I have it on here just so I can check in the mid-morning and see how it trades today, but not really one that I'm going to watch. All right, folks, so we have Lyft. Lyft is selling down here. We have X pre-market action. How many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have one too many. X might be the one to go. X right now, the pre-market action just looks really bad. IENG is starting to test this level. Didn't crack it yet, so see what it does. AMD looks good. EA starting to break out here. Volume is picking up, so this is good. NVTA, I do, again, price pre-market action all over the place, but we do like the daily chart. We like this beautiful drop. We got some clean levels, so I like this one. DDD is starting to get going, so I want to see where this goes here. Yeah, I think X got to go. I think X is the one. The pre-market action really is all over the place, so I'm going to remove X here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we got a good 6. I'm gonna check to see what Brian and also Andrew have on their list, and if they see something better, we can zoom into that. Norm, do we have any announcements, or do you have also anything that has gone that's got some activity since we last spoke?
Anything new? No, not really. You know, Apple, like I said, the semi stocks, so I'll have my eye on those.
Yeah.
But other than that, my watch list pretty much looks like yours.
Cool. Sweet.
But for announcements, yes. So we announced the winner of the challenge last night. There's a video on YouTube. It's not too long, but it was a very interesting challenge, an interesting way to do the challenge. Trader 71 won the challenge. He had the highest P&L day 1 and the second highest on day 4. So he was tied with points with 080. And you could tell both of them were trading like crazy on Friday to try to beat each other. 080 actually ended up blowing up the account. 71 lost money, but stayed he stayed very positive. They started with 25,000. He ended the week with 33,150. So a nice gain on the account for a week. And then there were some other traders that did just really a fantastic job that placed in the top 10 over the, 3, I think even somebody did 4 days in the top 10. So yeah. It was very interesting. And I believe the winner is going to come to the Dallas meetup, which brings me to my next subject. The 19th Dallas meetup. It's at Moxie's in Uptown. I have the time at 5 o'clock as of the moment. And then we'll be in Austin on the 20th with Andrew and myself both days. And, if you're in our YouTube chat for the pre-market show and you've never been in a room with us live trading, we'd love to have you come. Just check it out. We know, it's a great fit for some people, not great for everybody. So we have a 2-week trial. It's $49. But if you use the promo code premarket24, you can get the 2 weeks for half price, $24.
Yeah, definitely. Again, we encourage people to definitely check it out because a lot that goes on in the chat room. It's not just the pre-market show. It's just not Andrew Trading Live. It's a lot more than that. So the best way to do is to come check it out for yourself, see the environment. talk to the members already here, and you can get a vibe for what it's like to be in our trading chat room. All right, folks. So I think this is all we have for today. I see some other ones on here like SGMS. I see why you're bringing this up, Bad. They had a great day yesterday. Also, HTZ had a beautiful day yesterday. So I can see why these are calling your attention. But right now, the volume is not there. You can put these. I have MYL also. Look at this MYL. I mean, this is insane. So MYL, same thing. Huge drop after the market sold off. So I think these are some that we can watch later on and wait for them to hit our scanners. But if you look at most of these that had such a big day yesterday, like MYL and HTZ, they really don't have a good pre-market action right now and don't have the activity. Does not mean that they cannot get going. Anything is possible, but right now they're really pretty dead for activity-wise. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on the pre-market show. Again, have a safe and trading day today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow again at 8:30 Eastern time. Take care, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Trade safe.